All right. And we'll just do gallery view because that's kind of a nice feel. Anyways, so excited to see all you guys on today. People spanning, you know, Canada, East Coast, West Coast, Central, the United States. This is pretty awesome. We'll have Brian popping on pretty soon too. But I just wanted to kind of catch up with you guys before Brian came on about our last training about this book, exactly what to say. So I'd love to hear if anyone had any experience using some of the scripts that we went through from our last training. I know, I will be 100% honest with you guys, knowing that pink hair could potentially be around the corner, I have not stopped. I really, really, really do not want pink hair. Like I'm having heart palpitations about this. And so I have not stopped, and I like scroll through this book. I listen to it, and I've actually got one more to help you guys out with. As well. I'm just going to shut that off so it's not binging us. Oops, where'd you go? Yeah, so I really, really don't want that. So a couple lessons. When you're setting accountability goals, make them really hard so that you want to work, like you really don't want to get caught in that position where it's going to happen, because honestly, I don't want it to happen. Let's just put it that way. So I've been working my tail off, and it's been paying off, and there's been some frustrating moments. And so we all go through those ups and downs in the business. Like you have an amazing month, you're doing really well, you're winning lots of stuff, it's going awesome, you're bringing on team, you're getting customers, and it feels really good. And then sometimes it's just, that's not the way it goes. And it could be easy to just be like, well, this sucks, and you know, I'm not cut out for this, and I'm really not good at this, and I don't know why I did it, and do that downward spiral thing. And just a piece of advice there, when I get like that, because I do get like that, I think it's normal, you know, to have an off month or an off week or whatever it is. But I hop on training, or I get involved in the chats, or I reach out to someone in the business who's a friend, not only a colleague but a friend, or I just kind of submerge myself in everything, because you guys are an amazing community. And like some of us never have met, some of us may never meet, but everybody in here knows that we've all got each other's back for those moments when it is tough. We know we have a community to rely on. So submerge yourself, do something that scares yourself a little bit too, like making really crazy goals, like jumping into the deep end of a pool when you can't swim, or holding a snake, or whatever it is. Do those things, because it really does light a fire under your butt. And so with that said, I'll ask you guys in just a couple seconds to like pop in the chat. I'll get my chat open here so that I can see it too. If you've used any of those phrases that we went through last week, and if they work for you. And then I have one for you that has worked for me this week that I used twice today, and both people came back after probably an hour and a half after I wrote this script. So does anyone have any experience from using any of those scripts from this book, exactly what to say? Because I'd love to hear any success stories with using this. Or even just show me your hands. How many people were able to download the book and have a listen? Awesome. Good. Yeah, like it's about a maximum. You can listen to it cover to cover an hour. So the first time I listened to it on the treadmill. Second time, I actually sat down on a plane and listened to it stop, start, making notes so that I can start to internalize some of this. So did anyone give it a try? Does anyone have a success story where they can either pop off mute and share, or type it in the chat? I'll just wait here till somebody can share something.
I can share one that was really good for me that I've used a few times is I'm guessing you haven't had a chance to watch the link I sent and whatever the rest of it was. And there was one lady that I was for sure she was going to be like, yeah, no, I'm not interested, because she had reached out about the business. I haven't heard from her in over 2 weeks, just crickets, right? And then she messaged back, she's like, yeah, I've been so busy, I'm definitely still wanting to check it out. So it's totally worked. Great way to say, yeah.
So can I just ask you, when you got that response from her, and I guarantee it was probably almost immediate, like pretty soon after, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was. It was like, it's like, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I learn this lingo sooner? Or, it
Yeah.
felt, and realize that I make up a lot of stories in my head of why people aren't responding.
Yeah.
And realize that I don't always respond right away either. So I've got to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I just like the way a lot of the lingo that you gave us, the verbiage is just such a non-salesy, pushy way of following up with people. And it's working.
Yeah. Good. I'm so glad to hear that, because I don't know about you guys. I'm a pretty high-strung person. It's just the way I am. It's the way I was raised. I'm hyper. And so when you're crazy reaching out and you're not hearing back from people, like I get anxiety from that. It makes me very uncomfortable because I have very little, I have to work at my patience. It's not my strong suit. And so when you're working at this business diligently, doing your DMO and reaching out, 5 times, following up 5 times, sending out presentations 3 times, you're doing all that stuff and you're not hearing back from people, that makes me anxious. So when I found the phrases of this book and I was able to like put them into practice, when people responded to me, even if it wasn't like, leading directly to products or leading directly to team, but it was just getting that conversation started again, it was like this sense of relief. Like, okay, all those stories of like, oh, they're totally not into it. I was too pushy, or all those things, like you said, those stories in your head, they disappeared. They disappeared. And I felt like reconfirmed, I'm doing the right thing. I'm not trying to be pushy. Like every bone in my body does not want to be the pushy salesperson. So if I feel, or I'm telling myself that story in my head that I am being the pushy salesperson, it makes me feel badly. And I don't like feeling badly. So by getting that conversation started again, you're just moving it in the right direction, right? So thank you so much for coming on, because I'm sure, like, maybe we can celebrate that fact of just feeling like, okay, next, let's start this conversation again, and you can get rid of that feeling of uncertainty. Does anybody else have an experience that they had using any of those scripts? You can pop off or put it in the chat.
I've had a couple of good.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Julie.
So I've used just out of curiosity, and then is there something that's holding you back, or is there something that you're worried about? A couple times now, and I've gotten 2 replies. The first was a girl who's been on the fence with setting up a Zoom for a business call. So I used it, and yeah, there was nothing really holding her back, and she was able to have a 3-way call that night. So that was really exciting.
Yeah.
And then the second was a lady who's been in contact with me a couple times about products, and it just never really goes anywhere. So then I sent her, the first message was the one about, I'm guessing you haven't got around to watching the information I sent you. And then she sent me a message back and said that she actually had, and she really liked it. So then I sent her the second message, well, just out of curiosity, what's holding you back? And it was money. So then I didn't say anything to her, but she just said to me, I know there's never going to be a good time. There's always going to be something. So I want to start right now. So I was like, well, this was too easy. So it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's a simple verbiage and it works.
Insane, right? Like, because what I loved about it too is that it's quick. You're not writing a novel to someone explaining everything. It's literally like a sentence or 2, and it takes you in a completely different direction, right?
Yeah.
So, hey,
I think it makes them start thinking differently too. It kind of, gives them something to think about and why they're not doing what they said they're going to do, or what's the hold up. So,
yeah, that's a really good point, because it takes it off of you trying to convince and them trying to like mull over everything that you've given and kind of visualize and contemplate, like why am I being held back? Because I know when I first started, when I got first was asked to join, I took me 2 months to decide to get the products. That was a whole lot of contemplating, right? Like, and a simple sentence could have probably brought me over to that decision a little quicker, right? Because you're just stalling at that point. All your clients or everybody who's interested is just stalling because they're not sure if they want to make that decision yet. So you're just kind of boosting them, right? Okay, awesome. Thanks. I'm happy for your success. That's great. Jen, you were going to pop off too.
Yeah. I was just trying to find what I read today. I wasn't able to download the book. I still haven't been able to. I don't know if my Audible app is what's wrong with it. Anyways, but I saw a thing on Freestyle. I think it was Claudine, the Claudine admin Freestyle team. Do you know, you guys know what I'm talking about? Anyway, she had posted this. It was a clock. Mm-hmm. And it was, I can't remember the exact verbiage she used, but it only takes 10 seconds to make the decision to invite. And so I've been using that today to invite, and it's kind of like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just doing it. Mm-hmm. And I've sent out a ton of invites today, and I don't know, it was like a little bit of a moment where I was like, yeah, it's like 10 seconds of fear, and then it's over and it's done and you've done it. And then you just, whatever the outcome is, it will be, but you've done it and you've taken that step. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Awesome. That's incredible. That's huge, right? Because really, if you didn't see that little tiny post that would have intrigued you to do it, it wouldn't have happened. So that's really cool. Thanks. I got 2 little scripts that you guys can try that help me out, and then I'm going to turn it over to Kaylee quickly. But one thing I used today was, after like repeatedly reaching out, and I'm talking going back, following up. I actually just said, the story that I'm telling myself is that, I'm pestering you. And that is the last thing that I want to do, is pester you. So I used that line twice today. And within an hour, I got back, like after probably 5 or 6 follow-ups with people, one of them just being like the embarrassed emoji face was like the last one. I sent that script, and the person got back to me, was like, listen, I'm in Toronto, I'm traveling, I'm not feeling very good at all. And it just opened it back up to talking about her health and let's get her started so she can start feeling better. And the other one, same thing. So the story I'm telling myself is this. And then she climbed back on and was like, no, I really am interested in the products. I just need to find a way to make it affordable for my family because I'm not working. So then I was able to talk to her a little bit more. I sent her the game plan chat, and we ended up talking about how we can work together. So 2 conversations just using that one simple line. Story I'm telling myself right now is this. And it's just being vulnerable and being honest as well. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you guys that's helped with, once I've sent a presentation, and I completely forgot I used to do this, but to move it along, before you actually send the presentation, ask them when they'll be able to watch it. I used to do that and I forgot about it lately, and then once they said, yeah, I can watch it, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, they'd be like, awesome, I'll send you the link and I'll check back with you. And it just kind of moves things a little bit forward. Awesome.
Can I add to that? Just something I saw on the Fraser Brooks game plan training that I watched last night.
Yes, please.
He talked about that too. And he even said, don't send it until they're going to watch it. So his thing was, if they're going to watch the presentation at 9 o'clock on Tuesday, then you say, okay, I'll send you it at that time. And so then you follow up right then and there. Cause he's like, depending on however long the presentation is, if it's 10 minutes or half an hour or whatever, that they've watched it at that time. And so half an hour later, you follow up if you can, if you have that time too. But he said that to say, okay, I'm going to call you, after you watch the presentation. And then if they haven't watched it, then, you can kind of go into that conversation of, when you can do it. But at least then that's something that, so you're not kind of sending it with that whole waiting. They've given you that time and you send it right then. I don't know. I thought that was a good tip.
Yeah. Your hair looks great.
Oh, thanks.
I was just going to say that.
one of the things that I've done, and I've done it for a long time now, a few months after, I think after maybe I read GoPro again, but I think it was Eric that recommends saying, if I will you, using that statement. So I don't send an event until I say, if I send you the recording, blah, 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 will you watch it? And until they say yes, I don't send it. And I feel like it's a simple statement, but it gives me permission. They're now asking me to send it. So I don't feel like I'm being salesy or pushy or sending them something they didn't ask for, because I've asked them, will you watch it if I send it to you? And they've said yes. And I think it just changes the whole dynamics of the conversation. So, and one of the things that I did use with two people that I'm talking to about business this week is the most people. So most people become distributors or register for the business when they make their purchase, so that, and go on with that. And it seems to be working. So that's great.
Good. Even
that most people's good for a sale too, right? Because if they're, wondering what it is, you can say, well, most people buy the trio and the omegas and the shakes. So it kind of is good in that sense too.
Totally. That's awesome. Because even if you just take a few of them, like a few phrases, and try them out, then you've got something in your toolkit, right? And then you can go back and have a listen and add some more things, and it just becomes second nature. So awesome. Cool. Thanks for sharing, guys. I wanted to showcase a couple of people here today. I talked to them a little bit earlier in the day, just about talking about how they got started, and they got started so strong. And so we know the different promotional levels in the business. You start off as dealer. It's very easy to get your first 500 points. Many of us got our first 500 points in just, getting your own product. So you get that first promotion. And then that point where you're helping support someone to move from DD to VF, sometimes, it can be a little bit difficult. And so I wanted to just bring attention to Julie and Janelle and just give them a moment to just chat about how they were able and what they did together as a team to kind of help get Janelle to that VF position with, and not, when I say with ease, I don't mean with ease, because Janelle had to work for it. She had to put effort into it. And so I'd love to just get you to come off mute and tell us just a little bit about your experience from that, second promotion to VF, and what you did that made you so successful.
Me come off?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah. No, I was just making sure that you were talking to me, not Julie. Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy. It took, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sorry. I can't really hear myself. It definitely wasn't easy, but just kept in touch pretty well daily with, both Julie and you, Kerrie, at the same time. And just got help with some of my conversations, and just kind of making sure that actually I always came on the training and the events, because I found that always boosted my morale. So if I felt like I was having a hard time and I felt like I should give up and it's not working and I'm bugging everyone and yada yada, you kind of come back on the event and you learn something new, and you can share something new with other people. And it just sort of reaffirmed why I was doing this. And then I just kept reaching out every day and doing the posts and following the scripts. And you guys had my back the whole time, and it worked. So it's doable. Like I said, it wasn't easy, but it is very doable.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, it's been fun watching you guys. You're a fun team to be a part of, and you can feel there's a lightness in your group. Like, you guys like to have a good time, and there's great camaraderie. So thanks so much for sharing. And I'm going to showcase Julie now, because I want to ask you, when you and I were talking about Janelle and whether we thought she would come on, I'd love to know, that process, because it wasn't an easy process. It wasn't like, hey, I know this girl and she's going to come on straight away. So if you can share a little bit about your perspective, that would be really cool.
About getting Janelle on board.
Yeah, just the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, it was a bit of a challenge, really. I think it just took her maybe some time to see what I was doing, because I mean, this is not something that I would typically be a part of. So for a lot of people, I think it's just been watching my journey. So yeah, we had talked back and forth a bit, and Kerrie, you had talked with her as well, and she knew what it was and what it was kind of about. But I personally think it just took her the time to watch my success and, you know, see my journey a little bit before she really decided that maybe it was something she wanted to be a part of. Maybe she can add more to that.
I was just going to say, I was 100% just watching what you were able to do. Because otherwise I was like, you know, I've kind of tried network marketing and it's not an easy gig. But this product is really awesome. And the fact that I'm pregnant and can take the product and still benefit from it, I thought was really cool. So, I mean, it was kind of a whole slew of things. But I didn't want to try another network marketing gig and have it fail. So I wanted to make sure it was going to be a fit for me.
Yeah. Awesome.
And it 100% is.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think, you know, one thing that I noticed is that we had good open communication, and we knew, you know, like if Julie was busy, she could reach out to me, and we had that chat going. And if there was questions, or, you know, Janelle wasn't sure what to send to someone, we just kept that dialogue open. And between Julie and I, we were able to get the events or share the information. And Janelle, what I loved about it too, was not afraid to ask questions. Like, I think we're all pretty open. No question is a silly question. It's all just learning. And so it was fun. And celebrating her moving through these milestones was a lot of fun. So cool. I just wanted to take that time, because I know that sometimes it can be tricky, you know, like moving with momentum. But definitely I love some of the things that you touched on, which is training and events and being a part of it, and just submersing yourself in it, which is really, really cool. So congrats. When's Babes due? Pretty soon.
Yeah, 1 week.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Awesome. So thanks, guys. That's it for me. I'm going to spotlight this young man over here joining us all the way from Australia. Yay.
Young man. Funny. Good stories, good shares, guys. I can check out a training now. You guys have got this. I can take my Tuesdays back and just hang out at the beach or something. Good? Okay, whatever. What's going on? So we're going to spend some time in activity. What are you doing? My wife's in the background doing something that's not cool. So we're going to spend some time in some activity this afternoon. Is everyone ready to do some work? I am ready to do some work with you guys. And some of the things we want to do moving forward is actually spend more time in activity and less time in just learning. So I think learning is awesome, but I think activity is obviously when we're stepping out of our comfort zone, which is the biggest lesson of all. So we've got 3 things that we're going to do over the next 15, 20 minutes. And the first challenge, okay, for everyone to do is that we're going to spend 5 minutes loving on people. Absolutely loving on people. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're in network marketing. I don't care if they're not in network marketing. Upline, sideline, downline, mentor, old school friend, whatever. We are jumping onto Facebook, okay? And we are reaching out to people. I'm going to put 5 minutes up on the timer. One of the benefits of this, guys, it should be, well, one of the things is it should be someone that you're not in contact with. The way that Facebook's algorithms work is that you're going to see people's content of the people that you're messaging, okay? So and vice versa, okay? So the idea of this is just to love on someone, whoever it is, that you probably might not actually be speaking to or that you haven't thought of for a while. Could be someone that you're speaking to all the time. It doesn't really matter. But we just want to come from a place of gratitude, and we just want to thank someone for something. So there's two options. You can do it by text, or you can pick up your phone and record a message and just thank someone for something. Hope they're having a great day, whatever. Okay, so we got 5 minutes all the time. Are we all ready to do this? Yes. Yes? Kaylee, I can see you. Fist in the hand. I can't even speak. Come on, let's do this. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to put the timer on. We've got 5 minutes, and I want you got to count them too, okay? So we're going to have a little, not so much of a challenge, but just a scoreboard on how many you get done in 5 minutes, okay?
Can I
Put some
clarify?
thought into it, okay? Just don't go, hey, I appreciate it. Yes, please.
Sorry, so we're just sending like a quick, like, hey, kind of message, like, hey, how's it going? Hey, I appreciate you, whatever. That's what we're doing?
But it's a it's a love on them message. I
Okay.
appreciate you, Kaylee, because every time I look at your posts, I see that you're out drinking beer. Whatever.
Okay.
So it is appreciating people. We're thanking them for something. We are loving on people. Okay. Could be downline, sideline sponsor, in MLM, not in MLM, whatever. Okay. But someone that has maybe touched your life and that you want to just thank them for something. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to put on a timer. And can you make me the host, Kerrie? Whoever the host is, or co-host?
I'm on my phone, so I'm have to do it on here too. So
Yep, you can use your phone. That's fine. So I'm going to share my screen. I've got a little countdown timer that we're going to use. It's so cool. I found it on YouTube. Ready? We got 5 minutes. Well, that's 4. Let's go. If you can listen to the sound if you want, or you can mute it. Maybe you can mute it. We've got 2 minutes to go. "50 seconds.
Yeah, that's great.
They can hear us. See. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are done. Make sure the next one doesn't play. Stop share. How did we go, guys? Who did what? I was pretty slack. I only got 4. So put in the comments how many you were able to do. 6. High achiever. High achiever. Kerrie, 4. Brooke, Ashton, 6. 8. Jen, you always just have to come through and knock it out of the ballpark, right? Awesome. 3 or 4. 7 for Patty. Good job, Patty. Laura, 7. Awesome. All right. So we've come from a place of appreciation. We've come from a place of just loving on people. We are now going to do something that will scare some of you. And it's probably not something that scared me in the beginning, but I definitely know that some people get caught up in it, okay? So what we are going to do now is we are actually going to add some friends on Facebook. And I'm going to give you the verbiage to use. They're the suggested friends on Facebook. And all we're going to do, I'm going to actually write the verbiage here. So I'll share my screen. So we're going to go to your Facebook friends list, and I'll do it on my friends in a second, but we're going to say, hey, Mary, hope, no, what am I going to say? I saw that you, I saw that Facebook suggested we could be friends. How are you going? Could, would, should, whatever you want to add in there, and how's things going. All right, so you're going to get some that agree and accept and some that won't. Some are going to reply and some are going to start someone's off mute, conversation with you. You will go to your Facebook page, okay? You'll bring up, hold on a sec. You'll bring up, why isn't it bringing up for me? The friends list. Why is my Facebook so slow? Where are my requests here? Friend requests. And then you should be able to see the suggestions at the end of this list. Yes, okay. So what we're going to is we're working through this list down here and we're adding people, and you are just going to message them and say that Facebook suggested that we could be friends or should be friends. How are you going? And all we're simply doing, okay, is starting new friendships. This would be just the same as you're out in the street and you walked up to someone and said, hello, okay? Hi, how you going? What's going on, okay? Some people are going to accept, some people are not going to accept. That's fine. We can go and remove the friend requests later on, okay? So 5 minutes. I'm going to put our little countdown timer back on. You may use a different script if you want. Obviously, you're changing Mary to the name of the person, okay? The other thing is just to be careful of is if you do too much of this, if Facebook comes up and suggests that are actually asking you to confirm that you know them, then you may need to stop, okay? But this is an activity that you will do for, say, 5 minutes, and you may do it once a day, okay? You may do it once every 2 or 3 days. So let's get going. I'm going to click some new friends. You ready? Can't see everyone. Yes, let's do this. 5 minutes. Remember, countdown timer is on, and we are counting the people that we friend request and say hi to. Did a minute and a half. "45 seconds." "19." All right, we are done for that one. How awkward is that for some people? Huh? I can see some facial expressions. My gosh, starting new friendships is hard work. Saying hi to people is hard. This is hard work. Imagine if we had to do it in a shopping center and get imagine if we had to walk down, like back in the day. Like, there's no Facebook. Like, we actually had to go out into shopping centers and meet new friends. We can do this from the comfort of our own chair. Maybe it's someone's with the same name as me. Good job, Jen. This was tough. Awesome. So the other thing, verbiage, you can write this down that you could use on that is that, "Hey, Jen, you've come up in my Facebook suggestion box. What's going on? How's life?" Someone already replied. Wow, hard work, huh? We've got one activity to go. This should be pretty easy for most people. I only did 2. Why was that so hard? Guys, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Comfortable with being uncomfortable. You've got to get out of your head. This is just starting friendships. Just starting friendships. Kerrie, you got 7. Boom, I only got 3. Rockstar, right? You've got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is a relationship business. That means we need to build relationships with people. Just say hi, what's going on, start conversations. Now, the thing is, if you go to your phone, you can actually go through your outbound friend request list. Let me show you. How do I get to it? Menu. So if you go to, hopefully you can see that. I might dull it down a bit. If you're on your iPhone, you can go to your friends request list. Up the top, you will see outbound. Okay, so these are the people that you have friend requested. Okay, that will affect your Facebook algorithm. If you have sent a lot of Facebook friend requests and people aren't accepting you, Facebook at some stage will go, look, you're just spamming people. So if they haven't, you could write those people down that you just messaged. You could actually, over the next 3 or 4 days, if they haven't accepted, just go in and delete it. Okay, delete the friend request. We've got one activity to do, which is pretty easy. Okay, we are now going to spend a few minutes just saying hi to people. So go back through your friends lists. Okay, go back through like you can go through your friend requests, friends, message, friends. What should we do? Requests or just contacts? No. If you're on your phone, back to your friends list, go to friends, go through people that you haven't spoken to in a while and message them and say, hi, what's going on? How's life? If it is someone that you haven't spoken to in a while, then say, hey, Angela, it's been so long since we've caught up. How's life? How are the kids? how's the job, whatever. Our intention here is to start a conversation. That's it. Also, these people that you message, okay, they are going to see over the next week your posts, more of your posts, okay, more of your posts, which means that if you are doing your minimum 1 post a day and creating curiosity, guess what's happening, people? They're seeing that you're up to something, all right? 5 minutes on the timer. Let's get through. Let's set a challenge of at least 5 for everyone. We're just saying hi to people. How's it going? Obviously, you want to enter in. Do you need the verbiage, the scripts? I can put it in. Share my screen again. Hey, Betty. How's life? What's going on? Or, hey, Andrew. How are the kids? I can't even spell Andrew right. That's my brother's name. Haven't seen you in a while. Boom. Whatever. Customize it. Do it as you need to. Let's put this back on the timer. Hold on a sec. All right. We got 5 minutes. Let's see how many. At least 5. Let's do this, party people. Three minutes. Two minutes. 1 minute, 20 seconds. Thirty seconds. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. We are done with that. Boom. How'd everyone go? How do you find the request you've sent out? I missed that. I'll go back to that in a sec, Tammy. How did everyone go? Put it in. I did 6. Whoop. 6, 4. I got 3, 3, 7. Vanessa, legend. 5, a lot. 10, 7, Kerrie. Awesome. I'll just show you what that is while everyone's putting it in there, Tammy. So if you go to open up Facebook on your phone, I don't know how to do it on the desktop. Go to your menu. You have your suggestions, like we were going through before. You've got your requests, the people that want to hang out with you. But then if you go to outgoing, it shows you the list of outgoing friend requests that you can remove, okay? And you can also see the snobs that haven't accepted you. And there are a couple here that I'm really disappointed about. Huh. Off the Christmas list. Joking. Don't they know who I am? I'm joking. That was a joke, all right. All right, that's it. I think you got an event. Guys, these are short blitzes, okay? 5 minutes. You can do one of those every day. Build your friendships. Reach out to people. Start a conversation. What's going to happen now? Some of those people that you reached out to are going to reply and say hi back to you. You get to start a conversation with this person. They get to see your posts. Understand? This is how the ball starts rolling with creating new friends and talking to people and just being a human by loving on people. Okay? Love on people, add value, show up as a friend, see how you can help them. Peace out. Keep it real. Kerrie, rock your event. And can you call me later? I want to speak to you about that stuff. Peace. Good job. Like your hair, Kaylee. Not that I can see it with the bright light in the background.
I know. It's my it's our airplane tower.
It's awesome.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. Enjoy the cold.
Thanks, Brian.
Bye, guys. See ya.